Major League Baseball last expanded in 1998, up to 30 teams. Other leagues have 32 teams, seemingly a magic number for North America. Even the NHL is expanding to that figure, but not the MLB.
Release the Kraken!
So why won't expansion happen in baseball ever again? There's an obvious answer to this question, and that, and a whole bunch of other valid reasons why is coming up right after this. Hey, it's me, Dick Clippers. And over the years, I've told you the importance of shaving your balls and your man bush. But today, I'm here to tell you about all the amazing things the Lawnmower 4.0 can do that you might not have thought about. Number one, you have a lot more hair on your body than just your twig and berries. Have you ever thought about that? Like hair on your underarms. And if you want to wear tank tops at the gym and grunt while you throw up 50s, you better not look like you have a broccoli farm growing out of your pits. Use the Lawnmower 4.0 with its skin-safe technology to handle that. Oh, now I have to shave the other side. Secondly, this bad boy comes with a light and 90 minutes of trimming time. So if you find yourself stranded in the woods, it can help you guide the way. Or trim down your beard. It's also waterproof, so you can use it in the shower or in the middle of a river, I don't care. So after this video, head on over to manscaped.com/5-points and order the Lawnmower 4.0 and get 20% off and free international shipping. Or if you like options, get the perfect package, which comes with amazing grooming supplies and a free gift. Again, that's manscaped.com/5-points from the link below. And tell them Dick Clippers sent you. Manscaped, your balls and other body parts will thank you. The expansion of baseball mirrored the United States in its westward journey across the continent, its own version of Manifest Destiny. It all began with the National League that consisted of just 8 teams, and an additional 8 teams in the American League. The storied Brooklyn Dodgers became the LA Dodgers, the New York Giants the San Francisco Giants, and the Mets replaced them in the Big Apple. The Padres sprouted up in San Diego. A trip north across the border to Canada brought the Expos to Montreal. The failed Seattle Pilots, who became the Milwaukee Brewers, and the Mariners succeeded where the Pilots failed, and then began failing on the baseball field. The high-altitude newcomers, the Colorado Rockies, and the Floridian upstarts, the Miami Marlins, whose beginner's luck proved that early championship aspirations can be fulfilled, even for the little guys. Finally, you have the last 2 teams, the Diamondbacks and number 30, the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. Later, just the Rays, who became, alongside Arizona, the last expansion team to join Major League Baseball. Perhaps the Rays give a clue as to why baseball seems content with just 30 teams. The crumbling edifice of Tropicana Field, the half-empty seats, the team that has to wheel and deal to sidestep its own minuscule payroll in order to field a successful team. In a way, the Rays are a monument to all that's right with baseball in the post-Moneyball world. But aesthetically and financially, they're everything baseball hates. Let's dive into the reasons why the MLB doesn't want to expand. Expansion threatens relocation, which is the league's main leverage to get existing markets to build shiny new stadiums. Take Oakland. The A's field a successful team, but house them within the crumbling Coliseum, which even the Raiders didn't like. The Rays play in the Trop, which itself was built in 1986 not for the Rays, but to lure existing MLB teams. MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred explained it best. For us to expand, we need to be resolved in Tampa and Oakland in terms of their stadium situations. As much as I hope that both Oakland and Tampa will get stadiums, I think it would be difficult to convince the owners to go forward with an expansion until those situations are resolved. If there's no hope for expansion on the horizon, cities craving an MLB franchise will set their sights towards teams with stadium issues and build or upgrade their own ballpark to entice an owner looking for a new home. That process puts pressure on the existing market, telling them that they either need to approve funds for a new stadium and start building quickly, or say sayonara to that team. If expansion was on the table, markets without a team would first look to put together an ownership group and start from scratch rather than rip away another city's team. That is, Of course, if they have a stadium, and therein lies the problem for so many prospective markets. They aren't fit to have an MLB team. Just where are you going to put two new teams anyway? Cities like Sacramento, Las Vegas, Nashville, Charlotte, and Buffalo already have minor league stadiums. But expanding a smaller ballpark does not necessarily cut it. They aren't 25,000 seats away from major league quality. It's more than that. Luxury boxes, press boxes, concessions, parking availability, a giant sculpture in the outfield to be torn down by Derek Jeter himself. Another problem is stadiums are being built and replaced at a quicker pace than ever before. The Texas Rangers built a new stadium after just 26 years. The Braves moved on from Turner Field after a mere 2 decades of use. Gone are the days of baseball cathedrals built to stand the test of time. However, there are no more multi-purpose stadiums, meaning no wide receivers tripping over second base. So if a city was going to attract an expansion team, it would have to have a state-of-the-art ballpark ready to go for opening day, year one. Or at the very least, a deal would have to be in place. Look at how Buffalo, a city that has opined for an MLB team for years, is struggling to fill Salem Field, despite the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to host the Blue Jays. There are 9 cities the MLB would probably look to in case of expansion, or more likely relocation. Those cities are Buffalo, Sacramento, Las Vegas, Charlotte, Nashville, Indianapolis, Montreal, San Antonio, and Salt Lake cities. And like I said before, none of those cities have a state-of-the-art ballparks ready to go at the drop of a hat. Let's face it, these cities aren't being considered as a breeding ground for new teams. They're being used as bargaining chips to get existing teams to get their act together. Like other professional sports leagues, the MLB practices revenue sharing to an extent. 48% of local revenues are subject to revenue sharing and are distributed equally among all 30 teams, with each team receiving 3.3% of the total sum generated. In 2018, that meant each team was given around $118 million out of the shared revenue pot. With the 2020 season nearly destroyed by the pandemic, owners are trying to recoup losses from that fiscal year. And adding 2 more mouths to feed just doesn't make sense while they're trying to tide over the teams that already need help. The MLB doesn't make money the same way the NFL makes money. The NFL makes billions of dollars hand over fist because of their extremely lucrative TV deals, while the MLB relies heavily on people filling the stands. And as 2020 proved, in-person attendance can be somewhat of a house of cards. Most baseball games are broadcast locally, while the NFL broadcasts their games either nationally or across multiple markets. Okay, and the final reason, the real reason. And it's something that I alluded to earlier. The MLB has essentially said they don't want it. Earlier this year, Rob Manfred announced that expansion fees run for $2.2 billion. And that's just to get the ball rolling with the MLB. After that, you still have to find the money to build a stadium and the money to operate the team on a day-to-day basis. The MLB is basically saying, please use that $2 billion on an existing franchise and polish those shitholes instead of bringing in 2 new shiny assholes to the table. There's no indication what it would cost to relocate a team, but the fee would likely be around half of what it would take to build one up from scratch. But why is the $2.2 billion number significant? It sounds like chump change, right? Well, because it's seriously overvaluing the average MLB franchise. If they wanted to set the expansion fee to something more palatable, it would look like $1.7 billion, which is the median valuation for MLB franchises. But even that number is higher than what a prospective owner might expect. It just doesn't make sense to pay top 10 money for a team that's going to be located in a non-top 10 market. You can't expect a billionaire, as dumb as they are, to put down St. Louis Cardinals type money for a team that's not going to generate Cardinals type revenue in Charlotte, Sacramento, or Buffalo. And the MLB has designed it that way. It's not an accident. It's an outright deterrent. Also, it's hard enough finding one dumbass billionaire to buy into the league. They would need to find 2, because like I said, billionaires are so f***ing stupid. To put it plainly, expansion in baseball is just not going to happen. Oakland and Tampa fans, tighten your buttholes. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more interesting videos on sports. I also have a coffee company with urinating tree, and that's good sports, called Benchwarmer Brew. Check out the link below. I'm 5 Points Vids, and you made it to my next video.